Testing. 1, 2, 3. What's the story, Mick?
Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to Kingspan Breffni for the Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Championship Final between Ballinagh and Butlersbridge. Both quite close to town, obviously, and a very interesting final. Joined by Mickey Graham and by Dermot McCabe. Mickey, of course, Cavan team manager, and Dermot McCabe, part of the backroom team. Just very briefly, Michael, we'll talk about last night. Great advertisement for Cavan football, the senior final.
Yeah, look at a great advertisement, right? And I suppose both teams really went at it last night, and you have to give credit to both teams the way they approached the game. It looked like it was all Christian Law for the first 15 minutes, and then the water break came, and then Kingscourt gradually got back into the game after the water break, and started to eat into that lead. And then in the second half, Christian Law scored 1-1 right from the offset, and you thought, here we go again. But in fairness to Kingscourt, they stuck to their guns and clawed the way back, and then found themselves 2 points up coming into the last 5 minutes. But you have to give great credit to Christian Law, a young team that didn't panic, they held their composure. A lot of teams in a position like that would have just maybe kicked the ball into the full forward line hoping to get something out of it, but no, they worked the ball brilliantly into the scoring zone, and Mark Stewart kicked the great score, and I think the draw was a deserved result for both teams.
And by the way, congratulations, well done on national television, you were excellent. Good
stuff
to have you today. Dermot McCabe, we're focused this evening obviously is on the intermediate championship, and I suppose like the senior and the junior it's been very good. The intermediate championship has been very good.
Yeah, all championships have been very entertaining in that we've seen some great scores and some great high scoring games, and teams have really set up in a positive manner to really go after the game, and that's been very enjoyable, from last night and from all championships. It's been a joy to watch as regards to see the likes of 2-12 and the 3-14s and those type of scores happening. So hopefully we'll have more of the same today.
Now our viewers are watching at the moment, Dermot, some stats in relation to the semi-finals, and between you, starting off yourself, Dermot, between you, what are we learning from these statistics going into this final about both teams?
Yeah, what we've decided to show here is just a little bit of statistics from the semi-finals, and more and more the importance of kick-outs, the importance of turnovers, and where your scores are coming from. So if we were to look from Ballinagh, they in the semi-final won 55% of their kick-outs, and predominantly go long with their kick-outs. Now, you would normally be targeting up on 75%, but it depends on what the end benefit is and what their score source are. So you can see that they actually get 6 scores, if you look down the bottom, from their own kick-out. So they feel going long is good for them. But the only difficulty is that the opposition is winning 45% and winning 10 of those kick-outs in the semi-final. And as you can see, will concede from their own kick-out. They conceded 3 scores in the semi-final, which is 21% of the opposition scores. So they have to weigh up whether they are getting more return from going long, which they seem to be targeting to do, and does it outweigh going short, and can they get scores from that? The other interesting thing really is Ballinagh have a massive kick rate or attack in there. So out of their 31 attacks in the semi-final, they actually kicked 21 of them. They've seen the dominance of their full forward line in Kevin Smith and Niall McDermott and Shane Finnegan. So they delivered a lot of ball in there direct, and it'll be interesting to see whether they do that today again.
Mickey, looking over these statistics and looking at what you're reading from what's in front of us and from Dermot, advantages or disadvantages, where are the real strengths and weaknesses, do you think, between both teams. And I'm going to ask you specifically about setup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But initially,
Well, just looking at their score source turnover there, Ballinagh have scored 44% of their scores from turnovers, whereas Butlersbridge have scored 67 or had 67% of their turnovers, which led to 10 scores. So, you know, you'd wonder, is them turnovers, where are they happening? Are they happening high up the field, or are they happening in their own defence? When you look at the attacks, as with Butlersbridge, with kick passing it's 46, whereas it's carrying 54. So there's a clear pattern there straight away, Owen, that Ballinagh like to kick the ball, whereas Butlersbridge like to carry the ball. So that's a clear pattern what we can see there. And also from the scores conceded from their own kick out, it's basically, you know, evens as well. So, you know, when you look at through the stats, both teams are nearly in 11 power, but the one big comparison is that the kicking of Ballinagh to the kicking of the ball, they're more lean towards that, whereas Butlersbridge is to carry the possession.
okay, well, as we look at the teams warming up down underneath us, we will take a look at the teams. Excuse me, that's Ballinagh. So obviously what's going to happen there is that we've seen from the past, and their kicking game, Kevin Smith, Niall McDermott, Shane Finnegan, particularly Kevin Smith and Niall McDermott, they're the target men up front. How do you expect, or how do you think that Butlersbridge will try and nullify that?
Well, there's two ways you can go about it, Owen. You can look to put pressure on the ball out the field and stop that supply from getting in, and maybe put pressure on the kick-outs to stop Ballinagh getting primary possession. And it's up maybe to Butlersbridge to drop bodies into that area to cut out that supply, which I think they might do today. But also, you know, as a defender, do they take the chance and play a yard in front, expecting that first-time ball to come in, which I think the Butlersbridge defence might have to do today, because you know, every time Ballinagh get the ball, they will look to hit the two lads inside. So it'll be interesting to see what materialises there. When you look back to the semi-final against Ballinagh, they were getting great joy out of it early on, and then all of a sudden Ballinagh dropped lots of bodies into the middle area just in front of the D there and cut out that supply, and then they actually started to grow into the game. So, you know, that's something I'm sure Butlersbridge would have looked at, and it'll be interesting to see how to adapt.
Butlersbridge too are not without their target men up front, and the O'Reillys and Jonathan Leddy, particularly in the full forward line, they have been causing all sorts of problems, but they use, as you seem to think, more of a running game to get the best players they can on the ball.
Yeah, they've lots of pace throughout the teams, and they've lots of good ball carriers. Paddy McPhillips is a great ball carrier. John Fitzpatrick, Fergal, Flanagan, Shane Leddy. These lads are good and they have pace. They will try and leave Johnny Leddy and Cavan Riley inside, and they'll bring Fintan Riley maybe out to the half forward line, with Martin Fitzpatrick probably dropping into midfield. You'll probably see Fergal Flanagan starting at the middle of the field, but as the game starts, you'll probably see him falling back in to a more defensive role, and Martin Fitzpatrick may be coming out to pick his man up, and Fergal Flanagan, I expect, will look to be the man sitting in front of Niall McDermott and Kevin Smith to try and stop that supply going in. And if the boys get the ball, then he'll be the second man to come in maybe and double up and help out the defence.
Now this is a massive day for the Tommy Gilroy Cup, as we see there, and of course there will be a man of the match, but the reality is that this is a massive day for Butlersbridge. They're on the verge of senior championship football.
Yeah, first ever intermediate final appearance as well, Owen, and you know, a relatively young team. Butlersbridge have put in a lot of work at underage level, you know, in the last 10 or 12 years, and I've seen it myself with having a son involved, you know, the effort that has been put in at underage, and now they're starting to see the fruits of that. As I said, you know, it's a big game for them. I hope the occasion doesn't get to them, and I hope they just go out and express themselves. And on the other hand, then you have an experienced Ballinagh team who have 8 or 9 senior championship medal winners on their team, who've been there, done that. So it's going to be an interesting to see how both teams cope with the occasion.
Well, we haven't heard of any team changes as yet, but the team changes as they have been as they've been lined out. First, we look at the Ballinagh team. We'll bring in Dermot McCabe on this one. Dermot, in relation to Ballinagh, and you've been listening to Michael as to regards what way they might set up. How do you see it?
Yeah, I suppose what Mickey has mentioned about there is the ball and the way that they supply the ball in there. So Thomas Moore in the middle of the field and Cormac Timoney are a massive supply, and Shane Finnegan generally floats out round a little bit, so it leaves Niall McDermott and Kevin Smith as the two out and out inside. So I suppose the dilemma for George Dugdale and his team is how he sets up. Does he try and put the likes of Fergal Flanagan back in that full back line to sort of mark one of those directly, or does he actually try and use his players to stop the source? So to date, the huge supply of the kick passes for Ballinagh have been Thomas Moore, their captain, and Cormac Timoney. So from a Butlersbridge point of view, you would feel that you would have to be putting a lot of pressure on them two men in order to try and stop that source into Kevin Smith and Niall McDermott.
Mickey has already alluded to it, Dermot. There's loads of experience and there's loads of senior medals here today. So, the experience gained over these years, and a lot of these guys, well, some of them at least in their twilight years, I mean, you would imagine that they would have a big advantage going into this match today. Yeah,
there's huge experience. There was a little bit of, I suppose, pressure on them, or not as much expectation. I suppose Ballyhaise had been very good in all their games to date, so there was a less bit of pressure on them than there is perhaps today. But there was huge performances from Pádraig Riley and his brother Niall, Thomas Moore and Cormac Timoney, as I mentioned already. But also the likes of Philip Bogue and Evan Finnegan have been doing very good marking jobs, so far. And Patrick Carroll, as well as bringing the physicality, has the mobility to follow a man or track a man if that's required too. And then we're well aware of the threat that they have up front and the strength and power. They overpowered probably Ballyhaise in the full back line. Any of the fast ball in, low ball in, they were actually able to compete. They were able to compete with them on the ground or down low, but when it went high, they were able to use their physicality and win a lot of ball in there.
When you look at Niall McDermott, he looks rejuvenated himself, having gone travelling, but he's also, would it be fair to say, rejuvenated the team as well?
Yes, and that is definitely the case. But it's a smart movement. He's not going too far out of the scoring area. If you notice, or generally in his play, when he gains possession, he isn't 60 yards, he isn't 55 metres, he isn't out on sidelines. He's in the scoring area either to get that score or to lay the last pass for the score. So that's where he's very smart in his little small runs.
Okay, we'll have a look at the Butlersbridge team now, and that's how they line out as we know, but there might be late changes here. Mickey, talk us through the Butlersbridge team and where you see they do things a bit different.
Yeah, I expect Paddy Flynn maybe to go to Niall McDermott. I think he will go and look to pick up Niall McDermott. I think Cathal Leddy might try and go on Kevin Smith. As I said, I expect Fergal Flanagan to start off in the middle of the field with maybe Dugdale starting at centre back. But as the game progresses, I expect Martin Fitzpatrick to come to the middle of the field, and then Fergal Flanagan maybe sitting back in front of the full back line and trying cutting out that supply. Fintan O'Reilly then will come out to the half forward line, whereas Shane O'Rourke and Paddy McPhillips will come deep, and they will look to leave Cavan Riley and Johnny Leddy inside, I expect. But as I said, I don't think they're going to change things up too much. They're going to keep going the way they have been. It's been working for them so far, and I think the important thing here, I think today, is going to be on the kickouts. Will Ballinagh try and put a full press on the kickout and put Noel McPhillips under pressure? Only time will tell.
Dermot, you have an update on the team selection, so you can fill us in on that.
In the semi-final, Patrick McPhillips went off with what seemed to be a shoulder injury, so he is being replaced by Kevin McPhillips. So he's moving into that position. So you would expect that maybe the likes of Fintan O'Reilly or Cavan O'Reilly will be moving out to that sort of position. And generally then they would try to leave one, if two. So you would imagine they'll be leaving two sort of forward and two inside. So at the moment we've been told of one change in the Butlersbridge. That's 22 for 11. Kevin McPhillips for Patrick McPhillips.
Okay, it's time to put you under a little bit of pressure here now. The referee, of course, out in the middle of the field along with his match officials. But who do you think Dermot McCabe will win this game?
It is difficult to call. I suppose Ballinagh have a lot going for them, a lot of experience, a lot of movement. But if Butlersbridge, can sort of take the pressure off themselves, sometimes in the games to date they've been favourites to win, and that hasn't suited them when they've got to the lead and all that type of stuff. I wouldn't rule them out in this game. I would not rule them out, to be honest, but you probably have to give the slight edge to Ballinagh with the experience that they have.
Mickey, do you concur with that, or do you think that there might be
the bookies never get it far wrong, Owen, and Ballinagh would be strong favourites going into this game, and rightly so, you know, with what they've achieved over the last number of years and the experience they have on their panel. But, you know, Butlersbridge have no baggage coming into this game. They're a young team, you know, nothing's expected of them. If they lose this game, nobody's going to blink an eye, but if they win it, they'll be the talk of the county after it. So, you know, while Ballinagh have everything to lose, Butlersbridge have everything to gain, and that's the way they should be looking at it, and go out and enjoy the occasion and don't let it pass them by, because when you reach a final like this for the first time in your club's history, sometimes the occasion can get the young players, and when the game's over then it's too late, you can do nothing about it. So hopefully the Bridge players go out and make sure that they make the most of this opportunity that they've been given.
With your son and Jack involved, you obviously know what's happening inside the actual camp itself, so what's the mindset like? Because there's as much that as physicality.
No, talking Jack and with even the other lads from the Bridge, you know, they're very positive about today's game. You know, the whole no fear of Ballinagh, they're looking forward to it, which is great. It's young. That's the joy about having a young team. As I said, you know, there's no mental baggage there of defeats down through the years. They've been successful at underage, a lot of these players, in the way through. They've won under 16 minor championships, so you know they'll have no fear, and you know they'll go and give it their best shot.
Well, it's the Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Football Championship Final as we pause for the anthem.
Shantiro shin shir fosta Niak for Fuin tiranok Fuin troll Anok da him sa barna bwil Leganer gwil con vash no sail Legan ni shrek Fui lavok na bilar Shioliv kanin aron
We're about to get the Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Championship Final underway. Referee this evening is Martin Sexton from Cavan Gales Club. And thanks for everybody who are getting in touch with us this evening with very positive comments. Much appreciated. So it's all, as you indicated, Fergal Flanagan goes to the middle of the field, Michael, for the kick out, or for the throw in.
I see Patrick Carroll has gone to pick up Cavan Riley, Paddy Flynn has gone to pick up Niall McDermott, and Cathal Leddy has gone to pick up Kevin Smith. I see Dermot McCurry has come out on top of the D to pick up Shane Finnegan.
We're underway. Flanagan gets a touch, but Ballinagh gained the possession. And a bit of space now as the ball is given to Thomas Smith. Still 45 metres out. Flanagan blocking the way, so for the moment. Back to Pádraig O'Reilly. Cormac Timoney sprays it out towards that far side. Again, the defending is very good then. It's excellent defending. In fact, the ball eventually played. That's very good defending by Butlersbridge. Sticking to the task. But again, the ball almost won back, but Butlersbridge down on it and get their free kick just inside their own 45-metre line. That's quickly taken on that far side of the field. Just a minute played. The early ball played inside. So Aaron Riley acting as an early sweeper, maybe just in front of the O'Reillys.
Yeah, look at it wasn't the right ball to play as the sweeper was in place there. Butlersbridge just need to be more patient in their build-up play.
Thomas Smith, Pádraig Riley making a bit of ground, has support in David Finnegan. Again, that crossfield ball, that's well cut out by Cathal Leddy. Martin Fitzpatrick, John Fitzpatrick. Good crossfield ball that will stay in play for Shane O'Rourke. It doesn't actually. Should he have sprinted a bit harder then, Mickey?
Yeah, look at I thought he looked a wee bit laboured running for that ball there. It was a good crossfield ball. He should have been expecting that ball. So possession easily given away.
Pádraig O'Reilly. Again moving it in field. Again, this early ball, but Butlersbridge dealing very well with the early pressure from Ballinagh in the forward line. Kevin McPhillips releasing the ball. Has to release the ball back again to Fintan O'Reilly. Nice ball inside by John Fitzpatrick. Injured player for Ballinagh, but we'll follow the play. Chance of a score here for Cavan. Oh, that's an excellent start for Cavan O'Reilly.
Yeah, good start there, good ball in, but it looked like Patrick Carroll was down injured, so there were a man down at that stage, and it's not looking good for Patrick Carroll. I think he's indicated that he may need to come off, and I see Ballinagh are anxious along the line there. I think they have Killian McBride stripping down, so this is a bit of a blow for Ballinagh early on.
But I think he was carrying an injury coming into the game, Michael.
Yeah, look, I suppose this is the thing before games. If you have an injured player, some teams are inclined to hold them and wait and see how the thing is going, but you're better off throwing him in there at the start, because at least if he doesn't last the game, you can get fresh legs on straight away.
And Killian McBride is a good replacement.
Yeah, another experienced player coming into the team and has been knocking around for a long time as well.
Kick out. Dropping down. Referee giving a free kick to Ballinagh. Again quickly taken. Real chance for McDermott. Now gets it onto the left foot. That's an excellent score. Really, really well taken. Again, that's the emphasis on how they play. Get that early ball.
Early ball, Owen. At that stage, Butlersbridge hadn't time to get bodies in front of him. But as I said before, maybe Paddy Flynn would need to look at playing a yard in front of Niall McDermott, because once he gets in front, he's very hard to dispossess, and a great score.
And then you run the risk if you play in front. That's dangerous too, but you just have to decide which is the best option. Ball won well in the middle of the field. 1 point apiece. Ball played down along the left-hand sideline. Paddy O'Brien finding a little bit of space. Still Paddy O'Brien. He's going to need help. Cormac Timoney. And Timoney with the outside of the right boot. Splits the post again. Advantage was being played to him, but that's an excellent point.
Yeah, an excellent point there by Cormac Timoney. Again, a great ball carrier. Butlersbridge team just didn't hold him up in the tackle. He was able to get that yard, and a great strike on the outside of the boot. So
the referee is just checking inside to tell players to cool things down ever so slightly. As Noel McPhillips, one of the links with past winning teams in Butlersbridge, takes the kick out towards the middle of the field. Paul Riley can't hold on to it. Instead, it's picked up neatly by Shane O'Rourke. Into the middle it goes. Flanagan does well. Gets the ball, early ball inside again. And O'Reilly gets it, lays it off well. Chance of a score. It's swinging, but it has swung. Well, I thought it swung the wrong side of the post. To be fair, the O'Reilly's linking well, but
I think the linesman maybe pulling Martin Sexton there just on the earpiece there. He had a clear sight at it here. The linesman just under us, so I think this score is going to be cancelled out. Yeah, I think so.
Referee having a word with his umpires down to our left.
But again, good build-up play, Owen. Fintan O'Reilly looking for his brother Cavan inside and coming for the return, and just unlucky, maybe he just pulled it just wide of the post.
Well, the point is being given, I think. No, it's not. The point has been disallowed. I think that's fair. I think
it is fair. The linesman here had a good view of it. Sometimes that's an awkward one for an umpire, and that's why you need the support of your linesmen to come in and give you advice and things like that.
So officialdom working extremely well this evening in Kingspan Breffni so far. Again, a long kick down the field, picked up again by Fergal Flanagan. Leading by example, gets the ball inside. The ball threaded through now towards Jonathan Leddy. Looking for space. Jonathan Leddy finds the space. Has he the accuracy? That's an excellent point from Jonathan Leddy, set up by Flanagan. But it was a good structured piece of forward play and an excellent finish.
Yeah, excellent finish by Johnny Leddy. That will do his confidence the world of good there. In the semi-final he struggled a small bit, but to get a score like that early on should do him do his confidence the world of good as this game goes on.
Very open game so far. Podge Riley doing a little bit of pushing in that midfield area. Hence a free kick to Butlersbridge. John Fitzpatrick. Nicely played infield. Fintan O'Reilly. That's a great crossfield ball. Good running off the ball too by Flanagan. Chance of a score. It's a little bit ambitious. It's an excellent point from the team captain, Fergal Flanagan. And that's how you lead by example.
Yeah, again, Fintan Riley's getting on a lot of ball out around that half-forward line, and he changed the point of attack, and no better man than Fergal Flanagan to be moving on to that, and a great score.
So the kick out will be by Enda Brady. So back in front. Go Butlersbridge. And again, Butlersbridge very much up for this, you would have to say. John Fitzpatrick. Again, that early ball inside. Was there a mark made? Yes, there was. Difficult as it may be. Evan Finnegan having no answer at all to Cavan O'Reilly on that stage. And there's a huge structure, and the ball has now been brought forward. I'm not sure if Killian McBride really meant to do that. Maybe he did, but it was a distraction. Hence the ball has been brought forward, making it quite an easy opportunity now for Cavan O'Reilly. There you see the distance, and he does what he does best, his second point. It's now 4 points to 2. Butlersbridge have started very well.
They have, and you just wonder, has Patrick Carroll coming off affected them a wee bit, because since he's gone off, Cavan Riley has definitely come into the game and has won a couple of great balls out in front.
Again, the option down towards Pádraig O'Reilly again. Can't hold it at the first or second attempt, and again, Fintan O'Reilly, his work rate around that midfield area, and again threads it through inside to Cavan. Cavan has to play it back out the field again. Still an opportunity, back to Cavan O'Reilly, trying to work his way through. He's lost possession, but in doing so the referee said he was fouled. That will be a free kick, and Ballinagh already having difficulty coming to terms with the forward line of Butlersbridge, but the key area is where they're winning first phase possession around the midfield area, Mickey.
Yeah, Owen, they're forcing Enda Brady to go long. They're really pushing up, putting the squeeze on the Ballinagh kick out, and that's a couple of balls now that Fintan O'Reilly has picked up from breaking ball, and when he's getting it, he's looking for his brother Cavan inside, and has picked them out a couple of times with great foot passing in, and as I said, this should be another straightforward score for Fintan.
So Fintan O'Reilly prepares to take the free. In it goes. And the umpire running for the flag. Fintan O'Reilly gets the score, making it now 5 points to 2. So 4 unanswered scores from Butlersbridge in the space of 6 minutes. Again, the ball lost in the middle of the field. And it's this pressure that Butlersbridge are putting on. Again, the ball is broken loose. Ballinagh will win it back. Thomas Smith trying to weave his way through. Across to Paddy O'Brien, but again, there's loads of Butlersbridge players back covering the danger zones. This route one ball in again. It'll go too long, I think. Has it gone too long? It has, and that's the first wide. And again, he had no other option, only to kick it long. Yeah, and you know, this happened in the previous game, Owen, when the opposition got lots of bodies back, that Ballinagh still persisted with that long ball, whereas times maybe the best case is to run it. But at that situation, Fergal Flanagan was dropping in front of Niall McDermott and Kevin Smith, so it's obvious that that's the ploy now from Butlersbridge, is Fergal Flanagan to sit in front of the two men there to try and cut off to the supply. Well, the referee is having a word with Niall McDermott. It's nothing more than that, I don't think. And Noel McPhillips will take the resulting kick out. The breeze slightly favouring Ballinagh in this opening half. Poor enough kick out, that's won by Thomas Moore. Tries to get that early ball inside. Still a chance off here, chance of a score. It should be a score, it is a score. Kevin Smith, but again it was the kick out that caused the problem then. Well won by Thomas Moore, got the ball across, and a good finish. Yeah, again, Ballinagh putting the pressure on the kick out. Noel McPhillips gave a ball to Fergal Flanagan, who Thomas Moore was very close to him. Maybe the best option at that time was to go long, because they are having a wee bit of joy when they are going long, and you know, try and commit maybe bodies to the breaking ball. 12 minutes played in Kingspan Breffni. Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Championship Final. Brilliant catch by Cormac Timoney, and again he has one thing on his mind. That's the early ball inside. Player fouled was Niall McDermott, so this gives an easy opportunity for McDermott to convert the score. And that kind of illustrates how dangerous they are in situations like that, Michael.
Yeah, look at Niall McDermott using all his experience. Once he gets in front of his marker, he's very hard to move from that position. Once he gets himself between ball and man, 9 times out of 10 he will win, and this should be straightforward enough.
Well, he said it's straightforward enough. Looking mean and lean. Gets his second point of the day, bringing it back to a single point game. 5 points to 4. We've played 13 minutes. And he gets his second point. Good open game of football so far, Mickey?
Yeah, both teams really, going at it, but it's becoming a battle of kickouts at the moment, Owen, and a battle at the midfield area. The team that's getting possession there is getting the scores at the opposite end, so it's going to be a key factor in where this championship title is going.
Timothy went for it again. That's brave play by Flanagan. Gets the ball back into. But the referee is giving a free inside. And that's an easy free. So once again, the player inside was Cavan O'Reilly, being marked now by Evan Finnegan. And he's causing a few problems to Evan Finnegan.
He is probably physically a bit stronger than him. As I said beforehand, Patrick Carroll's a physical player, and with him gone off now, probably takes that physicality away from the full back line. But Martin Sexton, in fairness to him, is doing a good job at this current time. He's spotting a lot of off the ball stuff and getting a lot of calls right.
So a resulting free, a resulting point, leaving it now 6 points to 4. And Butlersbridge are still in the ascendancy. Down the middle of the field it goes. Great play by Andy McConnell. Very confident on the ball. And again, this route one ball inside that's causing so much problems.
I think he was given a push in the back there, Owen. I don't think it was the mark, it was more a push in the back. But again, Owen, it comes back to our point earlier there. The kickouts look to be vital for both teams at the moment. Both teams aren't getting any kickouts away short, and it's basically who wants it the most out around that middle third area at this current time.
I think the percentages are slightly going towards Butlersbridge at the minute on kickouts from both sides.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're definitely committing more bodies to the kickouts, Owen. Plus, on the opposition kickouts, they're getting their man in front of the Ballinagh player. So when they're in front, that means they can knock it down to one of their own players, and that's working perfectly for them at the moment.
And there's another point from Cavan O'Reilly, and he'll pick these off all day if they get opportunities.
He will, yeah, he will. He's, as I said, he's a good ball winner, and he's on top of his game. Confidence is up now, and Butlersbridge, will be delighted with the starter after getting.
Well, this will be an interesting kick out now if he goes long. So we'll play a particular emphasis on this. It's coming down again. What a brilliant catch. Cormac Timoney, that's about the second one he's caught, and he's been absolutely on fire. Has possession again, tries to get it in field. Pádraig O'Reilly. Chance maybe for Niall McDermott. The angle is very tight. Oh, he's very unlucky then. Really, really unlucky. The angle was really tight, and it came off the post the wrong way. Yeah, no,
coming on the loop there, very hard to defend against, and as I said, it was a trademark effort from Niall, but just off the post. So the water break are upon us already, Owen, which tells us it's been a very entertaining first 15 minutes.
It is, and we've talked about this before. Is it totally necessary? Is it totally essential? But the likelihood is that after the water break, Ballinagh could start to dominate, because that seems to be the trend.
Well, Owen, perfect example of that was last night, where Crishalore were in the total dominating the first 15 minutes of the game. The water break came, and then Kingscourt were able to regroup and get a bit of structure back to the play, and then were able to get back into the game. But you just wonder, are they necessary at this stage, because the game was really flowing there, end-to-end stuff, and all of a sudden this thing has been taken out of it because of this water break.
The more you look at this game, the worried manager at the moment would be Ballinagh, particularly because they would be looking. Cormac Timoney is doing his work, that's for sure, but they'd expect possibly a little bit more from Pádraig O'Reilly and Thomas Moore in the midfield area. But and unbreaking balls.
Yeah, you know that's been their bread and butter in this championship so far. You know the power and the feeling ability of Thomas Moore and Pádraig Riley. But Butlersbridge are breaking a lot of ball there, so it's an obvious tactic that they're not looking to feed. They're looking to break the ball, and because of that, they're committing bodies into that area, and they're winning. I'd imagine the majority of that breaking ball there, and because of that, then they're on the front foot straight away, and they're able to get first time ball to their inside forward.
And the reason that they're doing that, as I see it, is that they're deploying Fintan O'Reilly out into the middle of the field to make himself available as a spare man for breaking ball.
Exactly, and what happens sometimes, Owen, is the Ballinagh defenders are moving for the short kick out, but Fintan O'Reilly knows that his man isn't looking for it, so he's just hanging off and going looking for the breaking ball, and he's been very successful in doing that so far.
17 and a half minutes played, and that's the beautiful green swad of Kingspan Breffni. Ball in the hands of Kevin McPhillips. Almost lost possession. That's very, very brave play, and it needed to be then. Ball played short. Again, it's into the hands of Kevin McPhillips. Kevin McPhillips is fouled, and the referee just may have a word or two, or one anyway at least, with Thomas Moore. It's just a tick in the book, I would have thought, nothing malicious about it. You're tuned into Cav Stream, bringing you the Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Football Championship Final from Kingspan Breffni. Great play again, but the ball has slipped through the legs of Martin Fitzpatrick, and the ball well won back on this occasion. Loads of space on the left hand side of the pitch now for Thomas Smith to operate. Again, he might go route one. Again, he might decide to try and run through the middle. That's exactly what he's done. There's still a chance here for Paddy O'Brien. His possession is lost, and who's in to pick up the pieces again? None other than their team captain, Fergal Flanagan, who's put in a massive shift already.
Yeah, and that's the job he's going to do all day long. He's going to clog up that middle area and try and cut out the supply in, and that's exactly what he done there.
Ball played into the open space that, well, O'Reilly couldn't keep that ball in play. It was very close to the sideline. Evan Finnegan, Killian McBride, and Brady. And now it's Pádraig O'Reilly. Still 7 points to 4. Game not going as the script predicted so far. Still a long time, but there's a chance inside. This is a real opportunity for Shane Finnegan. He really kicked in haste then when there were other options available to him.
Yeah, probably just panicked a wee bit, didn't realise how much time he had on the ball there, and you know, hopefully that's not a miss that they'll rue further later on in the game.
Well, we did mention Fergal Flanagan, of course, having a wonderful game. His brother Senan is tuned our way, and he's in the Forest Hills in Queens in New York. He's there with his wife Sylvie and 2-year-old son Samuel. And you get the feeling, Mickey, they're enjoying what they're seeing so far.
Yeah, look, you'd have to be happy as a Butlersbridge supporter. You know, very encouraging start, as I said, exactly the way they would want to start the game in a county final.
And once again, it's still Butlersbridge who are dominating proceedings, but that was a very poor crossfield ball that Niall O'Reilly intercepted very, very easily. Now there's a chance for Shane Finnegan to get the ball into Niall McDermott. Oh, he has to stretch, manages to do that successfully. Close to the left-hand sideline. Fists it through to Niall O'Reilly, giving it back inside. Still a chance. That's brilliant blocking. Absolutely superb blocking by Cathal Leddy. He has to get great credit for that. They're doing their job manfully.
Yeah, look at getting lots of bodies in there, putting pressure on the ball carrier. Putting lots of pressure on the ball carrier there, yeah. Good turnover.
Certainly Butlersbridge not fazed by this in any way so far. The question is, can they maintain this superiority? Again, the ball is broken loose, and that'll be a free kick for Ballinagh. 21 minutes gone in the opening half. Aaron Riley. Again, loads of entertainment in this game. Maybe not so if you're from Ballinagh or Butlersbridge, but you'll be happy if you're a Butlersbridge supporter. But we are aware and do know the quality that Ballinagh have. Smith plays it out on the far side of the field. Still a chance of a score. The ball goes in. It's swinging, and it has swung wide. Now that's a fourth wide for Ballinagh. Butlersbridge have yet to register a while.
Yeah, wee bit of pressure coming on Ballinagh now. Maybe the game isn't going according to plan now, and they're starting to get a wee bit worried. And coming in as favourites into a game like this, sometimes when things go against you, you're not expecting them. And Butlersbridge are really asking questions of them at this moment of time.
Plus the fact that you lose your inspirational full back through injury.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that probably hadn't been already pre-planned.
Well, there is a chance here. Once again, it's Niall McDermott fisting it across. Loads of bodies in around the square, and that's where the ball is going. Very, very close. Will it be kept in play? It is. But that's a good piece of play on Butlersbridge. Butlersbridge are manfully doing whatever they're told in the pre-match to get a structure in place, and it's working.
Yeah, and Cahill Leddy at the moment, you have to say, is getting the better of the exchanges with Kevin Smith. That's a few balls that have come in now, and he's done really well and come out on top on, and he'd be delighted with the start.
Nice cross-field ball from Andrew McConnell. And once again, Dermot McCarry, Shane O'Rourke, John Fitzpatrick, Fintan O'Reilly. Oh, that's very neat. Flanagan has again made a good run, but it's picked up this time by Shane O'Rourke. He might have fancied his chances then. There's a chance of a score here as the ball goes in. And does that one go? Oh, it does. What a brilliant score by Jonathan Leddy. Yes. Beautiful.
Yes, Owen, great patient play, not panicking. Johnny Leddy getting off the shoulder. Fintan Riley showing great vision and a great score.
So now we're 23 minutes into the opening half. Thomas Smith tries to thread that ball across. It's very close to ground. Brilliantly won on this occasion by Kevin Smith. Ball played inside, but the ball has slipped past David Finnegan. And again, Butlersbridge really up to the task here. They've really prepared for this game, and you can see that. And they've looked at the strengths and they've looked at the weaknesses that Ballinagh possess. And they're counteracting most of those as we speak, Mickey. There was a quite hefty challenge there, and the referee will give a free, but where will what? Well, it appears to be a free for Butlersbridge.
Yeah, a bit of a lazy pass there by John Fitzpatrick. But in fairness, Shane Leddy showed great bravery there, and committing to the ball, and probably a high tackle there from Pádraig O'Reilly, and he's won the free.
So Butlersbridge are leading by 4 points. We have about 6 minutes of actual time to go until half time. They will be very happy, and there's been no change in the pattern of play, unlike other games after the water break.
No, there hasn't. Butlersbridge have continued on where they started, which is great to see. It hasn't affected them at all. So, here to go on the attack again.
Again, it's Flanagan gets the ball inside. And good cover there. That's very good play. I don't think it'll have the legs. It doesn't. Saved by Enda Brady on the line. And the ball is played out. Well, Butlersbridge saw a window of opportunity then. They couldn't seize upon it. And Ballinagh are able to clear their lines on that far side of the field. Evan Finnegan. He has Timoney with him. Still Evan Finnegan. Ball taken away from Evan Finnegan. Marginal, but he gets the free. Referee right up with the play, to be fair to him.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, look at probably a good challenge but he had momentum. Good challenge by Andy McConnell, done well, but they're after taking this free quickly here. Early
into McDermott. And again, they're really covering the options. And again, they're strong in the challenge. They're strong in the tackle, Butlersbridge. Cormac Timoney. Still, this is a good run by Timoney. He's got a point already. Can he add another one to it? Yes, he can. Very inspirational score by the centre-back. His second this evening, bringing it now 8 points to 5.
Yeah, Ballinagh needed that score. There was no other option on for Ballinagh there. Cormac Timoney seen that, took his man on and got a great shot off and a great score from him.
Kick out again by Noel McPhillips. We're being treated to a highly entertaining game here, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. It's continued on from the other games we've seen in this championship so far, so hopefully it'll continue.
Good kick out again by McPhillips, who will win the midfield battle. Brilliantly held, but the ball has been knocked down, and the referee has given a free, I think, to Ballinagh. So it's route one. How do they handle route one? Still an opportunity. Chance of a goal, maybe. Oh, and it's gone over the bar from the boot of Cavan Smith. That really has been the first real danger moment for Butlersbridge. There was goal on there. I think he may have been going for goal, but the ball just elevated across the crossbar.
I definitely think when Cavan Smith got his hands on that ball, he had only one thing in his mind was goal, but he was going for power, and luckily for Butlersbridge, it was over the bar.
Back to a 2 points game. And again, a football required for Noel McPhillips to take the kick out. We have played now 28 minutes almost. And like that, you've made the observation. And the wind is getting a bit stronger. We see the flags on the far side of the field just getting that little bit stronger. Down the middle it goes. Podge Riley catches it. And again, this early ball inside. And that's what's proving dividends for them at the moment. McDermott. Thomas Smith looking for space. That's a great kick from Thomas Smith. An excellent point. And again, it's Route 1 that's causing the problems to the defence and paying dividends for Ballinagh.
It is, Owen, but it's also a combination of Ballinagh putting pressure on the Butlersbridge kick out. That's the last two kick outs that they've won, and Ballinagh have got 2 scores from them. So Butlersbridge, anytime they've got the ball short, they've had success, and maybe they need to look at that option more. But Ballinagh is putting serious pressure on here.
3 unanswered points. And again, they win the kick out. And there's space again for Timoney running forward. Still a chance of another score. And that one has gone between the posts. And Cormac Timoney has got his 3rd point. And suddenly it's advantage Ballinagh.
Yeah, as we just mentioned, that's 3 kickouts, 3 scores, and Butlersbridge were doing that the opposite end there for the first 15 minutes, but it just goes to show you the importance of the keeper's kickouts when finding his own man. But here they're just going long and hoping for the best at the moment, Owen, and Butlersbridge need to get their hands on the ball here very soon.
Well, they only were behind momentarily in the 5th minute. And Cormac Timoney got the first of his 3 points to give them a 2-1 lead. Since then, it's been a dominant performance by Butlersbridge. In it goes again, very close to the end line. It will stay in play. And Cavan O'Reilly retaining possession, showing great pace and power. Oh, and there was a real opportunity there. The chance is still on as the ball goes in. This one, I think, will go to that's the first wide from Butlersbridge. And that's from the boot of Fintan O'Reilly.
Good opportunity there, Owen. Cavan Riley done well to recycle the ball back out, gave it to Fintan, and usually he is quite accurate in those positions.
Killian McBride down the right hand sideline to Thomas Moore. So plus 2 minutes to be added on. And again, there's a free kick, and this will be an opportunity for Niall McDermott to put Ballinagh into the lead. And with 6 minutes to go before half time, it didn't look remotely like that would happen. But they are in a position now where they're about to go in front. 2 minutes of additional time to be added on, and we're in the first of those.
Yeah, Butlersbridge will probably need to look at half time, maybe trying to curb the influence of Cormac Timoney. He seems to be making everything happen for Ballinagh, and he's kicked 3 points already, so they'll have to look at maybe trying to stop him getting influence in the game the way he is at the moment.
Still an opportunity for Butlersbridge to just get bodies behind the ball as Cavan Smith tries to work his way inside. Again, there's not much space. This is a very positive run that's blocked out well by Kevin McPhillips. As we approach half time, ball knocked away, but back is Jonathan Leddy to pick up the pieces. Still Jonathan Leddy. Fintan O'Reilly. Fergal Flanagan. Again, 2 players marshalling O'Reilly inside. He does really well again. Still Riley trying to work his way in field. The angle is a bit too tight and the ball goes wide. So that's a 2nd wide for Butlersbridge. Ballinagh have 4, but the sides are level at 8 points apiece. And we have now played a minute and a half of this opening half. Thomas Moore in space. Great covering back, but still Thomas Murray gets it inside. Chance of a goal, played across. The goal is still on, it's in the net.
I think the referee is blowing for a free, Owen. I think he's going to pull it back.
Well, the ball was finished to the net by Niall McDermott, set up by David Finnegan, but the referee bringing the ball back. Well, this is interesting to say the least, but there is a chance, and a chance for Ballinagh to go ahead. That'll be disappointing from a Ballinagh perspective.
It will be disappointing from a Ballinagh perspective. A big score just coming in the half time. It had been a huge score for them. You know, Butlersbridge will be relieved that it was called back, because it had been a sucker punch for all the good football that they've played so far in this game.
Once again, Niall McDermott takes the free off the top of the crossbar and over the bar, and that will be the final action of this opening half. And during that mid-term break, water break, call it what you will, you would have expected a comeback from Ballinagh, but it's only in the last 5 minutes that they've really turned the screw, and they have now scored 5 unanswered points.
Yeah, look at Owen, as I said, and they've all, the source of them scores have basically come from the Butlersbridge kick out. They're really putting a big press and forcing Butlersbridge to go along with the kick outs, and they're having serious joy there, especially Cormac Timoney at centre half back. He is really growing into the game as it's gone on. He's kicked 3 points. He's dictating how things are done out there at the moment for Ballinagh, and Butlersbridge will need to address that at half time and maybe try and get a man marker and try and stop his influence on the game, because he is the man that's really single-handedly dragged them back into it.
So what's the game plan now for Butlersbridge at half time?
I don't think that. Look, they're doing a lot of things right, Owen. I think it's just kick-out strategy. They may need to look at getting the ball away short and try and get their hands on it, because every time they've done that, they've worked that shooting opportunity up the other end. And as I said, maybe look at stopping Cormac Timoney raiding forward, because he's creating the overlap. He's, as I said, is the big danger. He's single-handedly, as I said, brought Ballinagh back into this game. So Ballinagh or Butlersbridge will need to look at trying to get somebody to stop his runs, because he is really influential for them at this moment in time.
Well, we have some stats coming up from Dermot McCabe as we look at the Butlersbridge team there, and we will have an interesting to see what these stats tell us. It's really, Mikey, it's a first half of 2 halves.
Yeah, look, as I said, you know, it's still all to play for here now. I think half time has come at a good time for Butlersbridge. Give them a chance to regroup now, get their breath back, and try and get structure back into their play, because they were very good for the first, as you said, 23-24 minutes of that game.
Well, we look at the stats now, and Dermot.
Yeah, really, Owen, I probably, as you both have alluded to in commentary, is it nearly was a game of 2 quarters. You know, Ballinagh were really struggling on their kick-outs in the first quarter, and off their 11 kick-outs they lost 6. And I just think it's important now maybe to show here Butlersbridge in the first quarter had got 5 scores from those 6 kick-outs. From the opposition kick-out. So if you see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, they actually got 5 scores from the 6 kick-outs that they won against Ballinagh kick-outs. In the second quarter, Ballinagh really pushed up on Butlersbridge kick-outs, so they actually won 7 of their 12 kick-outs. And as you can see in that last quarter, pretty much all of their scores came from opposition kick-outs, and of their 9 scores, they have got 5 from the opposition kick-outs. I suppose if we look at some of the other stats on that, Ballinagh have had a lot more attacks, but I would suggest that they haven't been calm or controlled in some of those attacks, and of those 21 attacks they've only managed from play to get 12 shots. Of those 12 shots they've kicked 7 scores, which is a very good return, but they just need to be a little bit more calmer, I believe, on the actual shot or on the attack to create that shooting opportunity. Butlersbridge have been very, very efficient on the attacks that they have had. They've had 15 attacks, they've had 9 shots from play, and they've scored 5 from those 9. Turnovers, you know, normally figures are higher than that, so they're not throwing up the ball too cheaply. It's only 8 turnovers each. But if we go back to the actual main source here, which is very surprising, is the press that they have on both kick-outs. It's 5 on the opposition kick-out, and for both teams that they're getting scores from. So that's massive. Normally the big count would be on turnovers and would be from their own kick out, but it's predominantly the pressure on the opposition kick outs that the scores have come from.
And does that effectively mean that all of this, from a Ballinagh perspective, has fallen into place for them in the last 5 or 6 minutes?
Yeah, well, you can see for their last 2 or 3 kick-outs, Ballinagh have gone short and have looked to go short. So Killian McBride is playing a +1 in front of Cavan O'Reilly and Jonathan Leddy. So what they're doing then is creating that. So the last 2 or 3 kick-outs have gone short. They've made sure they've gained possession because Butlersbridge had a good zonal press on their kick out, and they weren't winning, many of those. And on top of that, then Butlersbridge were punishing them on the score. So I would imagine the attempt here might be to look for short kick outs. Mickey mentioned to it there before you come over to the stats that Butlersbridge may have to look at reviewing, maybe going short kick outs. A lot of the kick outs to date, or definitely at the start, had been long, and there were 50-50 balls. So Cormac Timoney had caught 3 massive kick-outs. Pádraig Riley had started to catch kick-outs in that second quarter. So Butlersbridge have to look at alternative ways for their kick-outs.
Is that your perception of a change in game plan?
Yeah, definitely. Dermot highlighted it there. Butlersbridge were putting a lot of pressure on the Ballinagh kick-out. But because they're now playing a permanent sweeper in front of Cavan O'Reilly, it's very hard for Butlersbridge to get bodies up the field to put the full press on them. So Butlersbridge have been able to get them short kick-outs away and have been able to work scores. Where on the other hand, as we've already highlighted, Butlersbridge are struggling. They can't get a short kick-out. It's all long, and it's basically battle of the bravest out there. But as Dermot said, also, it's a change. Half time has come at a good time because Butlersbridge can have time to address this now, and it comes down to a couple of things, Owen. Movement from the Butlersbridge players to make themselves available for the short kick out, because when they have got it short, they have worked the score up the other end, so it has been successful for them. So they need to start going back to that if possible.
First couple of minutes in the second half, given that there's been complete dominance in the last 6 minutes, Butlersbridge now have to break that dominance at the start of the second half and get a couple of early scores to settle them back into the game.
Yeah, they will. As I said, the game is really up for grabs here. So it's up to Butlersbridge now to refocus. Look at the positives from the first half, not look at the negatives. They're doing a lot of good things out there now, and you'd be looking for the likes of John Fitzpatrick and Fergal Flanagan to grab this game by the scruff of the neck and drive the thing forward.
Well, the teams are making their way back to the midfield area, and no sign of the match officials as yet. There doesn't appear to be any change in personnel at the beginning of the second half, but maybe you see one.
Yeah, I think Killian Leddy has come in there.
Number 20, Killian Leddy is replacing number 22, Kevin McPhillips. 20 for 22.
Yeah, Killian Leddy is in for Kevin McPhillips. Is that like in your opinion?
Probably Killian Leddy brings more pace and energy. Kevin McPhillips is a hard worker. He'll go around and get on ball. So maybe they're looking to generate more pace into the forward line. Obviously, Paddy McPhillips not being there is a huge loss today. Paddy had a massive game the last day, so his presence not being there today is being felt by them in the forward line.
Well, the referee Martin Sexton about to get the second half proceedings underway. Will it be more of the same, or can Butlersbridge get the upper hand in the early stages of this second half? Well, we've about 30 plus minutes to decide where the Tommy Gilroy Cup will rest this evening. Will it be Butlersbridge? Will it be Ballinagh? As the ball is thrown in, and Flanagan again breaking it down, and that's important. And on this occasion, not like the first half, he did exactly the same thing, but Butlersbridge didn't retain possession. Now there's an opportunity here, still a great opportunity, and John Fitzpatrick takes a shot that looks a little bit wayward, and it's gone to the right, and the ball has gone wide. Butlersbridge could have done with that score.
Yeah, he could have brought it a yard or two forward. I think he had a man on his outside well as an option, but look, he was right to have the go there, but he'd be disappointed with that because usually when John gets into those positions he's very accurate.
Kick out towards Aaron O'Reilly, and Fintan O'Reilly a little bit unlucky then. Ball played down along the sideline. David Finnegan, early ball across. With the early ball across, means that Kevin Smith has been fouled, and an opportunity for Ballinagh to go 2 points in front. Currently they lead by 1. Niall McDermott yet again will be asked to take this free. As you can see, almost on the edge of the D, and will be by the time he kicks it. And he's successful yet again, making it now 10 points to 8. And Ballinagh back in front, but still a long way to go, Mickey.
Yeah, just looking at how Ballinagh are setting up again. They're going man to man on the kick out here, forcing Butlersbridge to go long again, and
long it goes towards Flanagan. Can't get a touch to it. Well, almost picked up by Killian Leddy, but again there's an airy ball inside, and again it's a bit of hard work to be done by McDermott. Manages to do that hard work. Thomas Moore, Pádraig O'Reilly. And that's lively play again from Cormac Timoney. And it's the players you want on the ball who go on the ball. Here's Timoney going again. Great pace and power. Thomas Smith has to play it back to Timoney, and he plays it out on the far side. Chance for Smith, he has to play it back, so Butlersbridge filtering players back to cover the dangers. Again it's Thomas Smith outside of the left boot, and that's a little ambitious, and that's a 5th wide. But again, Butlersbridge had players back in numbers then when they needed to.
they did, yeah, and you know, Ballinagh probably could have been a wee bit more patient there and waited for a better option, but look at again, Owen, it's coming down to the kickouts. Ballinagh dominating the bridge kickouts again, and you know, Butlersbridge need to look and give them an option here, because there's not much movement happening in front at the moment.
Yeah, and the way they're set up, it's very plain when we get a panoramic view of what's happening out in the middle of the field. Pádraig O'Reilly didn't get it at the first attempt, but he got it at the second attempt. Killian McBride, and again down along the sideline, and there's a free. Player foul was Niall McDermott, and the free will be taken again by Niall McDermott. It's well within his range. We've seen him score points like this before, and it's a steadier start to the second half. McDermott with the wind against him slightly, and one's going to go straight between the posts again. So it's free kicks and discipline has caused a nearly setback in the beginning of the second half for Butlersbridge.
Yeah, but again, Owen, you know, it's all stemming from them balls out around the middle of the field, getting primary possession, and there's not much Butlersbridge forwards can do if they can't get the supply. And the opposite is Ballinagh are getting lots of ball and getting it to the forward line, and they're having success.
Very short kick out, goes into the hands of Shane Finnegan. Now the ball is threaded through again, chance of another score, and this one goes in, and that one's gone between the posts. Great score for Paddy O'Brien, and again that's come from the kick out, so remedial work required immediately for Butlersbridge.
Yeah, look at I think Butlersbridge maybe need to look at now maybe changing, getting a big man in around the middle of the field. Maybe Peter Connerty, he came on against Killincare and made a huge impact on kickouts, so maybe they need to look at getting him in there and try and get his hands on a few balls, because this game could go away from them very quickly here.
Ballinagh certainly have what an absolute brilliant catch in the middle of the field by Pádraig O'Reilly, and again plays that early ball into McDermott. The scramble on here, was there a push on McDermott by Paddy Flynn? The referee says yes, there was, and this is a chance now for Shane Finnegan to put another point on the board. It really has been a very positive and a very strong start by Ballinagh at the beginning of this second half.
It has, Owen. As I said, you know, they're winning the primary possession in the middle of the field, and they're getting that ball into the forwards very quickly, and you know, they're out in front, they're winning their frees, and duly punishing the frees as well when they get them.
Well, Smith looks for the opportunity and he gets it. So that's Shane Finnegan sticking the ball between the posts, making it now 13 points to 8. And this game is slowly but surely drifting away from Butlersbridge, even as early as the 6th minute of the second half. ball given away again. Played inside, still a chance on. Ball fisted forward to McDermott. McDermott shielding the ball, still trying to get his way in, and McDermott takes the shot and puts it over the bar.
Again, Owen, you know, that's 10 scores in a row from Ballinagh. They're really dominating that middle of the field there. Butlersbridge need to come up with a different play here, because if they keep doing what they're doing, Ballinagh is going to, you know, keep notching on these scores, and they really need to try and get a foothold in the middle of the park here.
Well, there's the man that you mentioned not that long ago. Peter Connaughty is on the Butlersbridge team. The player replaced is Martin Connaughty, but as Mickey has rightly indicated, that is the 10th score without reply from Ballinagh, and that just tells its own story.
Yeah, just dominance around the middle of the field, Owen.
Again, the kick out will drop down in that area. And Ballinagh very, very dominant now. Ball in the hands of Thomas Smith. In fact, Butlersbridge unable to get their hands on the ball, which is the real problem, because they can cause problems when they have possession. Shane Finnegan, Pádraig O'Reilly, looking for space, finding it, down the middle he goes. Good play by Pádraig O'Reilly, and will the referee give a free out, I would have thought. On this occasion, Pádraig O'Reilly adjudged to be charging with the ball, and this will be a free out for Butlersbridge. And Pádraig O'Reilly being spoken to by Martin Sexton. Will it be a yellow card? Pádraig O'Reilly has picked up a yellow card, so that's the first yellow card that we've seen in this game. So Butlersbridge needs scores, they need them fast. First touch for Peter Connaughty, working his way infield. It's an ambitious kick for Fintan O'Reilly, too much so, and it looks as if Butlersbridge have lost whatever little bit of structure they had, and they're panicking now a little bit, and that's kind of understandable when you're 6 points behind. It
is. That's probably, you know, only their second attack of this second half, and after nearly 9 minutes, you know, to get the ball inside the opposition 45. So it just shows you the dominance of Ballinagh around that midfield sector.
Noel McPhillips racing out from his goal, looking for support, or Enda Brady rather. Across the middle of the field goes Killian McBride, and again it's that man Cormac Timoney, who scored 3 first half points, and 3 first half points at crucial times again. Now there's space inside. This is good play. Ball is knocked away, not picked up. Flanagan is in there to try and get a touch to it. It's a little bit messy, it's very messy, but eventually it's picked up. But that's good blocking, and back there is Fergal Flanagan to pick up the pieces and give it to Killian Leddy. Space down the left hand side of the pitch for Shane O'Rourke. This is a very positive run by Shane O'Rourke. Nicely picked up now by Cavan O'Reilly. The quality ball that he experienced early on not available to him anymore. Once again it's Cavan O'Reilly, and that's a little bit ambitious, but again the defending is good, and you would have to say that the Butlersbridge defence, or Ballinagh defence, have got a handle on what's happening in Butlersbridge going forward.
Yeah, look, they're just starting to lack ideas. No support there. Cavan O'Reilly on the ball. He had to try to do a lot of work himself there. They had no man inside. Maybe they look for that pop pass. Now that he's come out onto the 40, his brother Fintan has gone in full forward. So, you know, they're trying to run the ball now a wee bit more.
Kick out from Enda Brady. Race for possession on. Well, it looked advantage Andy McConnell, but great play by David Finnegan. Gets the ball in towards McDermott again, causing so much problems inside, but again just a little bit of a misunderstanding between the Ballinagh players, but again they were very fruitful in what they were doing and the know-how. Now there's a bit of space on the left hand side of the pitch. Fitzpatrick plays it back to Shane Leddy. Cavan O'Reilly. Bit of space for John Fitzpatrick. Gets it across the middle. Dispossessed is Peter Connaughty. And again, this is good defending. And now there's a break on again. David Finnegan gets it to Thomas Smith. Smith will go route one. Again into the corner it goes. And the mark being made And this is a real exhibition.
It was, Owen, but I don't think that kick pass was from outside the 45, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I thought it was inside it, but yeah, look, he was going to probably get the score after it anyway.
Niall McDermott registers another score, making it now 15 points to 8. 11 minutes gone, and Butlersbridge haven't scored in this second half. And it really has been a dominant performance in this second half. Ball played down along the sideline, well won by Peter Connaughty. Takes the return pass from Andy McConnell. In it goes. And there is a mark being given here now to Fintan O'Reilly. And what happens here now is that he really needs to convert this score if there's any comeback on the way. Well within his compass, well within his range. And he's hit it beautifully behind the flight of the ball.
It's taken 12 minutes, Owen, but that's the first Bridge score of the second half, and hopefully now they can start putting a wee bit of a press in the Ballinagh kick out here and try and get a wee bit more possession around the midfield and try and get a foothold there and try and create more attacks because, as I said, Ballinagh really dominating that area.
Kick out again by Enda Brady. Again down the middle he goes. Flanagan will try and get a touch to it, and he does get a touch to it. But again, nobody there for the pickups. This was different to the first half. Butlersbridge were buzzing around that midfield area, picking up a lot of loose possession. But they seem to have lost that opportunity now. And this is primarily because of good play by Ballinagh. Again, that early ball inside. Still a chance of a score. McDermott again. And McDermott's shot has gone over the bar. And it really is the Niall McDermott show at this stage.
Yeah, Shane Finnegan could have took the mark there, but he played on, and Niall McDermott was the right man in the right place, and another great score by him.
Close to the water break in this second half. And Ballinagh very, very dominant right now. Ball played forward again. And again, loads of time and space for David Finnegan. He even can have 3 attempts at picking up the ball. Gives it back to Niall McDermott again. McDermott moves in field. He fancies his chances. And Niall McDermott is just poetry in motion.
Yeah, well, look at Owen. It's a forward dream to be getting the supply that they're getting at the moment. It's constant. It's coming ball after ball after ball. And when you're getting ball like that, the confidence grows and the scores are easier to come by.
Short kick out that works on this occasion to Shane Leddy. Gets it downfield. And Butlersbridge moving forward. Again into the middle it goes, leaving a little bit of work to be done by Peter Connaughty, but he does that successfully. Again, that's a very, very poor ball inside that's easily dealt with by Killian McBride. You just feel that Ballinagh are in the comfort zone right now. He picked up a knock, but again, what a ball down the right hand side of the pitch to Paddy O'Brien. Paddy O'Brien plays it inside to McDermott again. It slipped through his fingers. And Cathal Leddy will tidy this up. Ooh, the ball has been left behind. But the goalkeeper, Noel McPhillips, was fouled, and that will be a free kick. But it is a very dominant performance by Ballinagh, as we expected it would be.
It is. You know, it was the first time Butlersbridge had got a short kick out. When they worked it up the field, Shane O'Rourke had probably a wee bit more time, but it was a tired pass. It was along the ground, and it was easy cut out. They're not taking into consideration that Killian McBride is playing as a sweeper there, and you know he's cutting out them balls all the time. So the Butlersbridge need to run it more and get support runners going, because what's happening is, when they're getting the ball carrier, but he's been isolated and there's nobody there to support him when he runs into trouble.
Well, the referee has gone down to the other side of the pitch and going to have a word with a couple of players. And is he giving a yellow card to, is it Cavan O'Reilly?
Yeah, it looks like he's giving a card to him. Something maybe the umpires had spotted there, so whatever that was for.
Noel McPhillips in possession, deep in his own half. Ballinagh happy enough to allow him to go as far as he can, but they'll try and prevent penetration a little bit further up. Andy McConnell finding space now. This is a good positive run by Andy McConnell. Gets it inside to John Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will fancy his chances here as in it goes, but again into the goalkeeper's hands. Enda Brady very happy to deal with this and release the ball out to his right as we approach the water break. Good play between Aaron Brady and Pádraig O'Reilly. Again, it was Thomas Moore who did the catching, as in it goes towards. Wow, what a brilliant one-handed catch. When you have a player, irrespective of how defensive you are, but when you have a player of that calibre and the way he's playing today, it's almost impossible to mark.
It is, and it looks like Fergal Flanagan has gone in to pick him up at this stage. You know, I think Butlersbridge could do with Fergal further out the field. I don't think that the problem is inside. It's the supply of ball that's getting into him is the problem. And you know, if Fergal goes in there, it's just going to take away from the attacking threat Butlersbridge have.
Well, we are in the water break for the second half, and that score just tells its own story.
Yeah, look at 1 point in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Butlersbridge, you know, as I said, first time reaching an intermediate final, a young team, you know, maybe now they're starting to doubt themselves and the confidence.
It looks like 10 points scored by Niall McDermott, and the game's not over yet.
No, he's really on fire. And you know, again, when it comes back to me point, you know, the supply that he's getting there, like it's very hard for a defence to try and stop that supply, because they're so dominant around the midfield area at the moment. But like, you still have to be put away. And you would have said coming after the first half that Niall Timothy was the man that's, you know, that's the standout player for Ballinagh, but Niall McDermott has really stepped up in the second half.
Well, it looks very like Ballinagh will be heading back to senior championship football, having won the title not that long ago. And there is a change on the Ballinagh team as Butlersbridge go away from their huddle. Kyle Tyler,
Substitution on the Ballinagh team.
wearing number 21, and he's coming on in place of David Finnegan, as the kick out will drop down into the middle of the field. And Noel McPhillips making his way back in towards that particular area. This will be disappointing from a Butlersbridge point of view, but they are a young team and they will learn a lot from this today, as Ballinagh would have learned. Well, Kyle Tyler's not going on as yet, but it looked as if he was just a few moments ago. Again, that short kick out has been won by Colin Dugdale. And again, Ballinagh pushing up and problems for Butlersbridge. Again, across the middle it goes. Now there's a chance for Thomas Smith. Thomas Smith tries a shot from way out. It was very ambitious. That's only their second wide in the second half. They had 4 in the first, but it's a very dominant performance now.
Again, you know, they went short that time and they were still turned over, so they're really struggling.
Well, there's a free kick, and the free kick will be to Ballinagh. Elbow in, says the referee, on Peter Connaughty. And the referee just having a word with Thomas Moore, who is of course the team captain, and smiles all around. And of course Ballinagh will be smiling because they're on the verge of collecting the Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Football Championship title.
I think it'll be more the same again here. First time ball in.
And again, the first time ball in has been won on this occasion, and that was good play by Cathal Leddy on that occasion. Got out in front of his man. But again, it's the options now for the kicker. He has to go back to his goalkeeper, that's Shane Leddy. Noel McPhillips moves outfield. Again, Ballinagh happy enough to allow them to go out to around the halfway line. Killian Leddy towards Cavan O'Reilly. O'Reilly does well, but he has 2 players to encounter. Leddy does well, gets it across the middle of the park. This is a good opportunity, and that's a very good score from Fintan O'Reilly. But again, double marking where possible from a Ballinagh perspective.
Yeah, look, at Ballinagh will probably look to manage the game now this last 12 or 13 minutes. They don't want to do anything silly, give away a goal and give Butlersbridge a bit of confidence. All they need to do is keep doing what they're doing, winning that primary possession in the middle of the field and getting it to the forward line as quick and direct as possible.
Again, the kick out is dropping. Great catch by Pádraig O'Reilly. Thomas Moore Threading it down the middle. Bit of space now for Shane Finnegan to try and move infield. He will need assistance, I believe. Thomas Smith is the only one that's there at the minute, but he's still happy to have a shot as in it goes. And that's a great score from Thomas Smith. Straight between the posts. Very, very good score.
Yeah, good score there. Looked at he was running out of options there, got back onto his right foot and a great score, and it keeps the scoreboard ticking for Ballinagh.
Again, the kick out a little bit loose, but it's 19 points. Plays 10. 21 minutes gone. Bit of space now for Andy McConnell. Back to Fergal Flanagan. That's a good ball inside. Is there a real opportunity? The ball had played across the middle, but was the wrong option. And when you have experienced players around like Killian McBride, anything like that will be easily picked up.
Yeah, look, Johnny Letty won a great ball from Fergal Flanagan. He should have turned to his left though, and he turned to his right, and the opportunity for a goal was gone.
Cormac Timoney. Across the middle of the field. Shane Finnegan will be very happy with this last contribution. Thomas Moore. Evan Finnegan. Niall O'Reilly. Kevin Smith. Gives it in. Still chance on, and that's one gone over the bar. Niall O'Reilly gets the point. And well put away, but a great move.
Yeah, it comes back to me, Point Owen there, when the ball carrier's coming out of the defence with the ball, that he has a support runner with him. That's why they were able to get the 1-2s off, and the Ballinagh or the Butlersbridge defence didn't know who to go to meet, and it was an easy score in the end.
Well, the change has now been made, and David Finnegan is the player who's come off the field of play, and Kyle Tyler is the player who's gone on. Kick out down towards the middle. Brilliantly held on that occasion by John Fitzpatrick. Now there's space on the right hand side of the pitch, and a chance for Butlersbridge to register another score as Killian Leddy's shot goes to the right. A little bereft of ideas at the moment.
Yeah,
Butlersbridge.
look at Owen. I think a lot of them now are starting to face the reality that it's not going to be their day. You know, we're talking about 8-9 minutes left, 10-point game here. You know, there's still lots of time maybe to get a few more scores on the board and make the score look more respectable.
Kick out straight down the middle again. Flanagan will fist it down successfully too to Connaughty. O'Reilly. Again, that crossfield ball, that's really a hit and hope. It's not what he wanted, but it didn't reach the intended target in any case. First touch for Kyle Tyler. And again, this early ball inside. That's blocked down. Picked up well. Given back to Niall McDermott. And Niall McDermott has another opportunity. Well, he's the difference between the teams.
Yeah, so strong when he gains possession. Very hard to dispossess.
Well, Butlersbridge have 10 points. So too has Niall McDermott. But that now may go to 11, and it does. So it's 21 points to 10. And after a very bright, pacey start by Butlersbridge, it has all come very much undone.
Yeah, Owen, I suppose 25 minutes in the second half and only 2 points, you know, to show for their efforts. They'll be disappointed, you know, the Butlersbridge are a better side than that, and, you know, just a lot of different things added to that in the second half, and it just wasn't their day.
Again, route one inside. That's a brilliant catch by Paddy Flynn. And down the middle it goes to Fergal Flanagan. Butlersbridge, to their credit, are not giving up. Shane O'Rourke gets that ball inside. Keegan O'Reilly moving in along the sideline. Keegan O'Reilly's shot is blocked down, but it will be a free kick, and the free kick will be for Butlersbridge. And it's all statistics now really at this stage, Mickey.
Yeah, look, as I said, it's all about game management now from Ballinagh. They'll just hold on to possession and try and see out the clock now. We're looking at 26 minutes gone, so you're talking about maybe 2 added minutes of extra time, of injury time. So, as I said, it looks like the cup is heading to Ballinagh this evening.
Well, that's Damien O'Reilly that you saw on screen just a few moments ago. The ball has gone between the posts. Jonathan Leddy went for strength, so Kevin Smith has been replaced. So Damien Riley on, Kevin Smith is off. And he gets a huge round of applause as he comes down this right hand side. Play continues, but the referee not allowing play to continue until the player has gone off the field of play.
Yeah, Kevin Smith, another fabulous game today. Has had a great championship for Ballinagh. In the absence of Niall McDermott at the early stage of the championship, it was him that was leading the line. He picked up an injury before the semi-final, but he was able to recover in time, and he should be happy with his display today and in all his displays during the club championship.
2 minutes to go to full time as the kick out comes down the middle of the field. Padraig O'Reilly breaking it down, but Fergal Flanagan will be the player that picks it up. Advantage being played, and that's good play again on this occasion by Killian Leddy, but the ball has been brought back for the original free, and Fergal Flanagan will be the player to take it. It's petered out to be a very mediocre final, and that's due to the dominance of Ballinagh, who've really turned the tide since the half-time whistle. It's been an extremely dominant, well-structured and well-played second half. First touch for Damien Riley. Again, this long ball played down in front of goal, and again it's that man, Niall McDermott. Referee says please get up, no free on this occasion. But again, he's caused endless problems in there, working well as a target man and showing his vast experience that he's accrued over many years, and looking in very good shape as well. Keegan O'Reilly, or Finton rather, pushed in the back, and that'll be a free kick. Free kick will be brought back. Again, this high dropping ball down in front of goal, picked up well by Evan Finnegan. Cormac Timoney finding space. Still Cormac Finnegan fisting it infield. Evan Finnegan again. Again, happy enough Timoney to hold on to possession. Back to Killian McBride. Killian McBride fisting it forward down that left hand side, where Thomas Smith has possession. And will he go route one as well? Niall O'Reilly. And again, they know one way. And again, the mark being made. Left or right, centre, it doesn't really matter. It's been superb football by Niall McDermott.
Yeah, he's running, he's showing for the ball, he's making himself available all the time, and another, I think that's 12 points now, Owen, is it?
12 points, yeah. So 3 additional minutes to be added on. So 12 points in any final, at any level, it's a fair return.
It is a fair return, and, you know, and what an asset for Ballinagh to have back. You know, he went travelling for a year there, and he was surely missed by Ballinagh. But as I said, in his absence, a lot of players stepped up to the mark. But to have him back gives them that extra potency up front, and he's been outstanding today.
And he's back mean and lean as well.
Yeah, he's obviously looked after himself very well when he's on his travels, and he looked really sharp now, I have to say, in all the games.
So Jack Graham makes his way onto the field of play, as does Declan Callahan. And it's a big day for people like Jack and guys. Jack, of course, for benefit of people who are not tuned our way, is son of Mickey. But it is a big occasion for young players, and they are very young, most of these guys.
Yeah, look, it's a young Butlersbridge team. You know, they'll take a lot of learnings from this, and you know, it's hard learning. It's a tough one. You know, they'll have to go away from this, but they can hold their heads up high. The performances in the championship so far today have been excellent. This is the first game, Owen, that they've lost all year, but they've come up against the Ballinagh team, who will not be out of place in the senior championship next year. As I said before, it's not that long ago since a lot of these boys won senior championship medals, and they'll give lots of teams teams in the senior championship, lots of teams to think about next year.
Well, I see that Darryl Gaynor is on, and I can also tell you as well, and that was the applause that you heard, even people standing, the few that are allowed in today, standing up, acknowledging the fact that it has been an unbelievable performance by Niall McDermott, and he just smiled as he walked off the field of play as Thomas Moore puts the ball wide. Well, he wanted to get an opportunity maybe to register a score, but he will be lifting the Tommy Gilroy Cup. Niall McDermott down on the sideline along with Kevin Smith, and still a chance on here. We haven't had a goal in this game yet. Is there a chance of one? That's good blocking, very, very good blocking, but there is a free kick, and the free kick is to Ballinagh. And there will be an opportunity maybe for Shane Finnegan to stick this between the posts. It really has been a very complete second half performance. Now, Butlersbridge didn't play to their potential at all in that second period, but you have to give credit to Ballinagh. They did.
Yeah, you have to give great credit to Ballinagh. Their experience in the second half told. As I said, Owen, beforehand, they'll not be out of place in the senior championship next year. You know, they've lots of experience and lots of young players coming through, and you know, Butlersbridge, as I said, can hold their heads high. They've been exceptional this year, and you know, it's going to be tough on them, but they'll learn from it, and hopefully it'll make them stronger in the years to come, because they have a lot of young players coming through, and hopefully this is a platform to build on.
Well, Shane Finnegan has scored the resulting free, and we have now played the 3 minutes of additional time. Good catch by Connaughty in the middle of the field, and maybe there's a goal chance maybe for Jack Graham. That's a good ball inside, but again it spills, and it didn't work out as well as it should be, but there's still a chance for Cavan O'Reilly. Back to Graham again, laying it off. Chance for back to Jack Graham again, cross towards Fergal Flanagan. Flanagan will move in along the end line, plays it across the middle. Oh, and there was almost a touch to it. Graham almost got a fist to it as the referee brings proceedings to an end, and Ballinagh are the 2020 Hotel Kilmore Cavan Intermediate football champions, and you'd have to say deservedly so, Mickey.
Yeah, look at Owen, there were strong favourites coming into the game. It took them a while to settle into it. Butlersbridge came out all guns blazing, and you have to say the first 15 minutes were full value for their 3-point lead, but after that Ballinagh, you know, started to dominate around the midfield, and when they've done that, they were able to get the ball to the forward line, and the forward line were in tremendous form. Niall McDermott, Kevin Smith, you know, Thomas Smith, they were really dominant. Shane Finnegan, you know, they all were showing well for the ball, but again, you know, the experience, they've been here, done that before, a lot of them, and the younger players that have come through would have learned from their older players as well. But look at on the Butlersbridge end of things, they've had an exceptional year, Owen. They've went unbeaten all year until this game. They've probably come up against a more, you know, experienced, more physical outfit, but they can take a lot of heart from their performances this year, and hopefully now that, you know, when they do get back to a situation like this again, that this experience will stand to them.
And they came up against seasoned campaigners, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's my point. You know, as I said, a lot of, you have 8 or 9 of them Ballinagh players that have senior championship medals in their pockets, so you know they know what it's all about. But look, at Butlersbridge will be disappointed, but they're young. That's the first intermediate final in the club's history. You know, as I said, it's something to be proud of. While it didn't happen for them today, they can, you know, take the learnings from it, and they have a lot of young players coming through. They're a really young team, and I've no doubt that they'll take a lot of beating next year as well.
Well, there's fantastic stewards work being done here, because social distancing is obviously crucial, but players are staying out on the pitch, and the crowd, albeit the recognised and the crowd that were due to be here, are here. So from that point of view, nobody's wanted to go out onto the field of play, which is good. And I see Paul Henry is out there in the middle of the field. Of course, he's the assistant manager with the Hotel Kilmore, and he's the man that will make the presentation to the player of the match. I kind of an idea who that might be, Mickey. I'd be surprised if it's anybody other than Niall McDermott.
Yeah, well, look, at any day you kick 12 points in the county final, no matter what level it's at, is an exceptional performance. As I said, coming up to half time, you were probably saying Cormac Timoney was probably the best Ballinagh player on show, but Niall McDermott really excelled in the second half. But you know, when just talking to you there about the celebrations, these are changed times, you know, and in fairness to the crowds, they're obeying the instructions that they've been given. As I said, you know, it's great that they're able to see and witness their team lifting the cup here as well. So, you know, it would have been a lot worse if there had been no spectators allowed in today, Owen. But, you know, and great credit must go to both sets of supporters as well, you know, for their discipline and, you know, and obeying by the rules that the county board have put in place.
Well, Thomas Moore is making his way across to the presentation area. There he is, wearing number 9. Paul Henry proudly wearing his Butlersbridge jacket as we listen to the presentation.
On behalf of the County Board for a great spectacle of the intermediate final. I want to congratulate both teams on an excellent performance and a great game of skill. Some brilliant scores on both sides. I want to congratulate both on that. To our sponsors, the Hotel Kilmore, I want to thank you for your continued support, and I ask you to all the rest of the sponsors, including Kingspan and all our other local sponsors, we thank you for your support in this tough times for businesses and people as well. To compliment the players of both clubs, the officials, the coaches of both clubs, Ballinagh and Butlersbridge, I say well done to you all for the work you have put in throughout a very tough year on working with players and working with everything else. It was just hard. The Competitions Control Committee, for the work they've done throughout the year, fixing and changing and moving games, I want to compliment every one of them for that. They've done a brilliant job. The County Board officers, staff, PR committee, stewards, turnstiles, grounds people, programme sellers, volunteers, and also the Gardaí and the Civil Defence for the work they've helped us in running our championships. To Angle Cell, Northern Sound, We Are Cavan, and Cav Stream for promoting Gaelic games in Cavan. I want to say hard luck to Butlersbridge today. It wasn't your day. You come up against a very experienced Ballinagh team. So without further ado, I'm going to present the Tommy Gilroy Cup to the captain of Ballinagh, Thomas Moore.
Well, Thomas Moore, a very, very happy man receiving the cup.
Yeah, Thomas, wee bit shy sometimes, you know.
I'll ask the Ballinagh captain to say a few words.
It'll be interesting to see what he has to say.
Well, we won't have to wait too long.
First of all, I'd like to thank Kieran and the County Board, all the officials and stewards, for getting the championship finished for a start. It's been a tough year, but just to get out and play football and even to get fans at the final, it's just unbelievable. So thank you. I'd like to thank Martin Sexton and his team of officials. It's not an easy job. 30 lads shouting at you on a field, but done brilliant today. So thank you. I'd like to thank Butlersbridge for a great game. Lads, you put it up to us there in the first half. We pushed off in the third quarter, but you put us to the pin of our collar. And these are a young team, so next year, no doubt about it, you can push on and get to the next level and push on to senior. To Noel Delaney and our own committee, they do tireless work behind the scenes. Anything we asked for, we got it, and more. So thanks very much to Noel. To Warrior and Mihal for the video and Twitter. I think everybody knows Warrior at this stage. Just with the year that's in it, with fans not at games and stuff like that, Twitter was brilliant. Keep people updated on the games and how we were getting on. To Joey Abs for the stats. It's amazing what he keeps in that little book. It doesn't all make for great reading. To Edel, our physio, keeping us always on the field. Thanks very much. It's long hours. Thank you. To Jerry and Julie on the line, doing all the secretarial work. It's not easy to keep the whole lot of us happy, but thanks very much. Now, to Darren McCarthy for helping turn Enda Brady into a goalkeeper this year. Thanks very much. To Graham O'Connor, go down every night before training, an hour and a half before training, setting up, getting the balls ready, getting cones, everything ready. I'm probably there for half an hour after we leave. It's the unseen work that they do, no complaints, up early on a Saturday, Sunday morning, getting things ready. So thanks very much for that, boys, over the last 2 years. Brian Donohoe. From the first day he walked in, we knew it was going to be good. We were at low ebb after getting relegated, and from the first couple of sentences out of your mouth, we knew it was going to be good cracking. We knew it wouldn't be long before we'd be back up in senior. Everything was brilliant. Every training's different, keeping us on our toes. And we knew we'd get there, Brian, thanks to you. Thanks very much. To Adrian Maguire, from the first day he took over, he told us we were going to be back up to senior. He told us what way we were going to play. He never changed his mind, never faltered, never lost belief in us. Every day made us better. Every time we went out, we got better because of him. Thanks very much, Adrian. To the families, wives and partners of all the players. We're out here playing the football, enjoying ourselves, but it's used at the back of it all, really. Putting up with us, letting lads get to train and minding kids or whatever it is, dropping young lads to training. You do the hard graft while we can go out and enjoy ourselves. So thanks very much. To the 41 or 2 players we have, it's been some run. We got it handy this year with a lockdown, but once we got back into it, we enjoy our football, we enjoy the crack, and you can see it on the pitch. Every man down half an hour before training, kicking about, having the crack, and you can see it on the field today when we got into a battle with Butlersbridge. We all rode behind each other and pushed on. So thank you. Finally, to the supporters. It's great to have you here. It's tough out going for 2 or 3 games where you could hear the echo in the stand. But it's just great to have some. I know there's people missed out on tickets, but to have some people here, it's amazing to share this with you. So thanks very much for all the support over the year. To our sponsors, nearly forgot you. To Barney Max. It's been a tough year for them, so boys, we're going to have to help them out now in the next couple of days. Thanks very much, Barney. You've been there for the last 2 years. Anything we wanted, so we're going to pay you back. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Thomas. I think Thomas hung me out there. I didn't actually thank Martin Sexton and the officials, and I want to really compliment them on an excellent job today and say well done. The last job I have to do is man of the match, and I don't think there's any question about this. The man of the match for the Intermediate Final 2020 is Niall McDermott.
Well, I don't think anybody, Mickey, can have any complaints about that.
No, any day you score 12 points in the county final is some day's work and is a credit. You know, the way he's looked after himself, the way he's come back from his travels to condition that he's in, you know, is a credit to him, and just shows you how serious he takes his football. And I'm delighted for Niall, you know, that he put in such a performance. As I said, there was lots of big performances from Ballinagh players today, not just Niall. You know, the forwards who kick the scores over the bar always get the credit, but you know, there was numerous players that really put the shoulder to the wheel there for Ballinagh. It was a great team performance.
And what about the speech by the team captain? You said he was quiet enough, but he covered everything. He left nothing out. He was well prepared for that too.
Yeah, usually get it hard to get a few words out of Thomas, but look at he's a sensible head and experienced shoulders, and you know, in fairness to him, he had everything covered off. I'm not sure if he had that prepared or not, but I'm sure that, you know, he would have run that over his mind at various stages during the week, what he was going to say.
Well, there's a happy man in picture right now. That's Adrian Maguire. First of all, Adrian, congratulations. Wonderful performance, particularly in the second half. You restructured, you got what you had to do, and it worked out a treat for you.
Yeah. Like, there was a lot of talk before the match about Butlersbridge. You know, and the final was last week against Ballinagh, and Butlersbridge, to be fair to them, were beaten last year by the team that eventually won at Lara. And they're a good team, a good young team. And, you know, we knew we were going to be up again today, and we were for long spells. There was nothing in it right up until the third quarter, like, you know. So.
Well, we're joined here now by... And here you go. Well done. Congratulations, Niall. If we can get you organised there. You can hold your Man of the Match award in your hand while you're speaking to us, and if you look at the camera over there beside Adrian, what a performance.
I'm sorry. I'm just delighted basically to be back on the field. There was a good bit of the start of the year there. I was out and I was wondering if I'd ever get back at all, and I'm just delighted to be able to come back and just help the lads in win the cup. It's been a long time since we've been up here, 7 years ago since we won one, so just delighted.
Mickey and I made the analogy during the commentary today that for you it was great to get back into the team because that's where you wanted to be, but it was great for the team that you were back as well. It cut both ways.
As I said there, like it was hateful watching the first couple of games there, and just made myself a promise when I came back that I was going to contribute as well as I can. Cavan the Bun the whole year was winning us games. He was kicking 1-7, 1-8 a game, so I was just itching on the line to get back and just help him out and the rest of the boys.
Adrian, you suffered a blow earlier on with Patrick Carroll having to go off with an injury. He was carrying an injury, I think, into the game anyway, but how significant was that reflected in your first half performance? Because Ballinagh or Butlersbridge appeared to be on top for certain times.
The first half, Butlersbridge were very good, to be fair to them, and Cavan O'Reilly is as good as full forward as there is about, and he's dangerous. Patrick was a big blow, but the strength of this team, there's 30 lads at training every night, and there was 4 or 5, and this lad came in was well capable of doing a job that Patrick was doing, so we had no worries when Patrick went off. Like, obviously we would have liked to have him on, but the fact that he went off, you know, there came on a man and he done his job, and that's the sign that, you know, that's how strong a squad we have this year, and that's what you need, as Mickey knows, to win games, you know.
If we can concentrate perhaps on your overall play and the way that you've played through the championship this year, there was obviously an in-depth belief that you are a senior team and that's where you should be.
Yeah. Look, I believe football should be played simply. Like, you go out, obviously you go out and you go at it, and you trust the lad beside you trust the lad behind you. Like, you know, some teams bring back 3 and 4 lads back into defence and you have 8 and 9 lads in defence. It shows that you don't trust the lads who are in defence, if you know what I'm saying. So you go out and you go at it. Obviously you target certain individuals that has to be marked, but if you go out and let lads express themselves on the field, and as you've seen there today, and to be fair to them, they have been expressing themselves this year, and you know, one thing leads to another, and belief in a team is a big thing. And when you get belief in a team, everything else follows. And you know, there's some exceptional boys in Ballinagh, to be fair, and they're great footballers, and well done to them, and I'm delighted for them.
Niall, you scored 12 points today, but Mickey even made the point on commentary that the quality of ball going your way was immaculate. It wasn't easy, but it left it that bit easier for you.
The balls are on a plate there in the second half. I was probably annoyed enough in the first half that we didn't get a foothold in the middle of the field, and it was hard to get ball in, but Porrick Riley, Cormac Timoney, all the lads around the middle of the field the second half put in an unbelievable shift, and that just made our life inside easier. Myself, Kevin the Bun, there was Thomas the Bun, lads coming off the shoulder there. It all just clicked because we were winning ball around the middle of the field.
This victory means a lot to you because you've played most of the season without your spectators being with you. So this is for them in many ways as well as yourselves.
Oh, definitely. You see a man down there, he hasn't been out of the house since lockdown started, Carl Fitch. I think he's 91 years of age, and he was down last weekend, and just the happiness that he had, even just being able to come down and get a ticket for the game, and that fed through to all the boys, even seeing that, and that drove us on big time today, just seeing supporters there, yeah.
Well, Adrian, finally, there was hunger, there was belief, there was that will to win. Everything worked out, and as has been said already before, for the fans, for the club, for the locality, for Ballinagh.
Yeah, you said it all in one. I'm delighted for everybody, because no more than any other club, the work that goes in behind the scenes is immense, and it's great when you get a team coming together at the right time, when our lads came together, and we have great leaders in the team, and they have been leading this club for the last 20 years, and the hunger that they showed, especially the older fellas, I have to hand it them, and it brought the young fellas on, and the young fellas stood up as well, and it's a team game, and I'm delighted for everybody, and please God we can relax now. Have a nice evening.
Well, enjoy the evening and good luck in top flight football. You deserve to be there, and you will acquit yourself very well. Adrian, and of course Niall, thanks very much for joining us.
Well done.
Good performance, Mickey, overall. They're and look, they believed they would win. They've won it, and that's kind of reflected in their persona along the sideline.
Yeah, well, look at Owen. As I said, there were many people's favourites at the start of the year to win the intermediate championship, and they justified that today. Niall alluded to there that early in the season, the struggle to get past Arva in that first game. Arva just squeezed out Arva in the latter stages. They got Cuhullins defeated them, but they've responded very well since that. The addition of Niall coming back in definitely lifted their spirits and gave them that extra impetus up front, and they really pushed on after that. So they're, as I said, rightly so, they're champions today. People will say they're a senior team, and as I said just before the end of the game, I have no doubt that they'll be very competitive in senior football next year and give lots of teams lots to think about.
They are one of the many teams that go up. I mean, there was a belief maybe they shouldn't have been down in the first place, but having won a senior championship, and they won it on merit, we give that to them for sure against Cavan Gales, but they will for sure be up for any challenge that will present itself, and let's hope that things will be a little bit different next year, where their supporters, Niall spoke about the elderly gentleman, and this is what it's all about. It's all about families, it's all about communities, and it's very clear that they're out there on their own. They have no supporters, they have no family. They'll have to meet individually afterwards.
Yeah, look at Owen, this is what it's all about. It's been a tough year for everybody. Let's not, paint over it. It has been a tough year. Tough year for young people. It's been a tough year for old people. It's been a tough year for families. And, the GAA has given hope to people out there, given them an interest, given them something to hold on to and to look forward to, and to be able to come back and watch these games live was a great lift to the people's spirits. But also great credit to Cavan County Board with having the initiative to go and try and stream these games and get them out to the people that couldn't leave their houses could enjoy them, and I think that was hugely important and has been a great success. And I think we learn a lot from this, because this moving forward, not only for the people at home locally, Owen, but the people abroad, Ballinagh people, Butlersbridge people, Cavan people in general, who are living all in different parts of the world, to be able to tune in and watch local players playing and seeing people that they haven't seen in a long time, is great. So well done to everybody involved, and as I said, congratulations to Ballinagh. Thoroughly deserved a win. I hope that they can enjoy it as best they can with the circumstances that we find ourselves in. But as I said, life goes on, and we look forward to the replay now and the junior final.
Well, they are to come up, and they will be streamed live as well. Thanks again to Mickey Graham for being with us and during the stream. It's all focused for him now, of course, on the inter-county stuff, but that's a story for another day. That's it from Kingspan Breffni on the evening that Ballinagh are crowned Hotel Kilmore Intermediate Football Champions for 2020. From Michael, myself and all the team, a very good evening.